Venezuela, which is honestly a stronghold in our hemisphere. It just makes sense. All right, man. Let's go over to our man Mamdani on The View. Yeah, I want to react to this as well.
His inauguration on New Year's Eve day, announcing a new generation of leadership for America's biggest city.
Yeah, a new socialist agenda, but we'll see how that works out.
And a historic campaign with big promises that caught the attention of the entire nation and you know who. So here to tell us how he plans to deliver, please welcome back, we can say it now.
Yes.
He is the mayor of New York City, Zohran. So,
he's a regular.
how you doing?
He's becoming a regular.
Long time no see. What's up? Anything new going on in your life?
It's pretty slow going.
Yeah, just chilling.
It's clock in, clock out.
I get you.
It is lovely to be back.
Good.
Thanks,
so
Wilson.
you've been on the job, for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So what's it feeling like?
I'll be honest, it feels incredible.
Yeah.
This is the dream of a lifetime. And we've always wanted to build a city government that moves as fast as New Yorkers do. When a New Yorker's trying to walk somewhere, you don't get in their way.
Right.
City government, it hasn't felt like that for a long time. So we've wanted to say that there's not going to be any problem too big or too small for us to address. So day one, we put bad landlords on notice right after that inauguration speech. Day 6, we fixed a bump on the Williamsburg Bridge. Day 8, we announced more than $1 billion in funding for universal child care.
That was a huge bump, by the way.
That was a huge bump.
Where's that money coming from?
That's coming from the state. And what that does is it allows us to fix universal child care for 3-year-olds and deliver it for 2-year-olds. We actually have a mother in the audience, Mallory.
And it's actually funny because, prices went up in New York. So prices went up on bus fare and things like that. So I guess we're seeing where he got that $8 billion from. It seems like these guys done raised taxes across the board. Of course, he's going after the landlords, which are basically, you could say rich people. Not all of them are rich, but a lot of them do got some money. So once again, going after the rich. And I mean, when people start not wanting to be landlords in New York, then who are you going to take advantage of? And of course, universal child care. I mean, it sounds like tremendous. It sounds great. And the fact they got $8 billion put towards it, I mean, all right, is that really going to help these people? Let's see. I mean, I hope it does. Honestly, I hope it does.
Who is here with us and who, when the announcement was made, texted her husband to say, it might be time for a second kid. And I think so often we think that these are decisions families are making on their own, but really we're giving them no choice when we say that childcare costs $25,000, $26,000 a year. Now it's something that they can actually get for free.
Right.
Oh, guys, if you're still on YouTube, man, I went ahead and posted the link. Try to make your way over to Rumble, man, and come join the gang in Rumble, where the real party's at.
Good for you. So, Mr. Mayor, we all know you're a charm.
It's more sincere than it sounds.
No, but you are totally filled with charm. And the one who's really taken with you is Trump. I mean, and what's interesting is that you called him a fascist to his face, a dream.
No, come on now. He didn't really, come on. He actually looked at Trump for approval when they called him out. Like, you pretty called Trump a fascist. So are you sticking with that? He was like, Trump was just like, nah, bro, go ahead. It's all good, bro. Just go ahead. It's easier that way. You get to stay cool with your base. I get it, bro. I get it, bro. Go ahead and call me a fascist. And he did. He's like, yeah, all right. Yeah, he's a fascist. I was weak. I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of funny. The fact that Dems took that serious, I mean, bro, really?
I've always had. and with his blessing. And then we saw you, talking to him that day, and he seemed to be madly in love with you that day. There was a bromance roaming. And then now I understand that you're texting to each other. Can I see the text?
I don't have my phone with
But
me.
we have, right?
Very, very convenient.
Don't we have a clip of the meeting?
So what's going on with you two?
I think you're going to have hopefully a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am. I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually. And I've been called much worse than a despot, so it's not that insulting.
Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about.
That's okay. You can just say
Okay.
that. Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
So obviously you've gone for the charm offensive
Sure
as
is.
opposed to Governor Newsom, who's on the attack. Now, maybe yours is going to work because we know he's totally egomaniacal and narcissistic, and anytime you compliment him, he likes you. Is that your intention?
I think my intention is
I mean,
about.
that's kind of everybody. That's everybody, man. Usually when people compliment you, you tend to like them, especially if you could tell their compliment is sincere. And, you know, Trump tends to compliment people himself. So, I mean, let's be honest. Everybody loves compliments. Like, you tripping if you're going to sit there and say, oh, well, you know, I don't blush when I get compliments. I don't sit there. I don't take it to the heart. I'm like, come on, bro. Really? What? So all you take is the insults to the heart? Well, you're not. Well, your mental health must not be good.
Being honest and direct with the president.
Yeah.
And I think there are many disagreements the two of us have. There's no shortage of them. One thing that we do have in common is that we both love New York City. We're both New Yorkers.
Yeah.
And so for that entire meeting, I made the case about this city and what it can look like for this city if it's a place that New Yorkers can afford or if it's a place that they're pushed out of. And every single policy that the federal administration puts forward, it has impacts on this city.
Do you think he cares really about New York City? And do you have an award for him?
I don't have an award. Don't have an award. What I will say, though, is that I'm going to exhaust every possibility. I mean, when New Yorkers elect a mayor, they're looking for someone who's going to turn over every leaf to see what is something they can do for the city. That's what I'm going to do.
I see.
Okay.
Right. Well, good luck.
I don't know why people like him.
She also meant that.
Yeah, I appreciate the translation.
Mr. Mayor, and I love saying that.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, let's talk about the unfortunate situation unfolding in Minnesota since the fatal ICE shooting of Renee Good, which you bluntly called a murder. The Trump administration is.
Like I said, and see, and this is the problem with the left. Like, what happened to due process? What happened to innocent till proven guilty? But you're already trying to put guilt on this ICE officer. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like I said, he didn't go in front of that car. And that's the main point that these Dems want to stick on, is that, oh, he shouldn't be in front of the car, Set. Yeah, you're right. But guess who moved the car and put him in front of the car? Renee Good. When she moved that car backwards, she put Jonathan Ross, which is the officer that shot her, in front of that car and drove forward. In his perception, it looks like she was trying to run him over, thus he shot. I mean, do we like the fact that that happened? Of course not. A mother lost their life, and my heart hurts for her kids. But let's not sit there and pretend like she wasn't given multiple chances to save her own life. That's just the fact of the matter. Oh, and shout out Chases. How do I find you on Locals and redeem that membership Monty gifted me? You two might be gay, but it is easier to figure out. And laugh my ass. Yeah, it is. It is easier to figure out. I got you. Locals. Let me see here. Actually, do I have to set up Locals? I think I might have to actually set that up, but I'll see. Let me see here.
Reportedly readying
Oh, should have
troops for
already
deployment and investigating the Democratic mayor of Minneapolis and the governor of Minnesota for impeding immigration agents. How are you reacting to everything that you are seeing? And importantly, do you worry they'll target New York and you?
Look, I think first, I don't know how else to describe what we saw in Minnesota. People ask me, why did I say the word murder? I asked them to look at that video and tell me what they would call it.
Right.
And we are being asked to not believe our own eyes. It's time to be truthful with people. It is terrifying to see what's happening there. And it's terrifying to see all of this happening in the name of public safety. And I've said this directly to the president, that these ICE raids, they are cruel, they're inhumane. They do nothing to deliver that public safety. In fact, what they do is,
oh, yes, it does. Oh, yes, it does do a lot to deliver public safety. When you're taking a bunch of criminals off the street, yes, you're helping public safety. When you take a bunch of illegals who are not supposed to be here off the street, yes, you're helping with public safety and you're upholding federal law at the same damn time. Don't forget that part. So it's kind of funny how they try to sit there and say, oh, well, these ICE raids are useless. No, they're not. No, they're not. We're getting a high number of people who aren't supposed to be here up out of here. I mean, and guess what? We're also getting a high number of criminals up out of here. And what can I say? I like when our laws are respected and not trampled over because of your feelings.
leave a sense of fear amongst so many.
Feelings.
And, you know, I represent a city of 8.5 million people. More than 3 million New Yorkers are immigrants. I'm one of them. And what we've seen this administration do is transform the very places that we used to associate with the American dream. 26 Federal Plaza, you go there, your citizenship interview, you hope you can start to call yourself an American. Now it's the sign of the American nightmare. It's where people go there for what should be a routine immigration check-in. They don't know if they're going to get detained or deported. And so my job is to stand up for those New Yorkers, stand up for every New Yorker, and to say that we're going to use every tool at our disposal to ensure that what we're seeing elsewhere is not what we see in this city.
What if they send ICE agents here
Well, that
to New
kind of
York
leads
City?
to my
Are you
question, because
prepared?
the president is threatening
what
to
it
cut
is.
off significant federal funding to New York City and other sanctuary cities next month, arguing you're protecting criminals. Now, is he trying to coerce you to cooperate with ICE? And how will you respond if he makes good on that funding threat?
Well, what I've said is that our values and our laws, they're not bargaining chips. I'm not looking to have a negotiation with New Yorkers' lives. We're talking about sanctuary city policies. These are policies that used to be defended by Republicans and Democrats alike, ones that keep New Yorkers safe. And I've told
look, brother, if you just make sure that the NYPD is helping out ICE officers and locking up these illegals or just keeping the protesters out the way, y'all ain't got nothing to worry about. They don't, like I said, the Democratic base can't blame their own. They got to blame Jacob Fry, who is not allowing the local police to provide crowd control. Once that happens, look, these protesters are going to stop getting arrested for obstruction. And I'll be real with you, we're going to prevent more people like Renee Good from getting killed. To be honest with you, in self-defense, by the way.
President this directly, which is that what we are talking about is not people who are convicted of serious crimes. We're talking about people whose crime simply seems to be being in New York City. And if they were to make good on this threat, it would rip the civic fabric of the city apart. And so we're going to use every tool, whether that means the tools of city government, the tools of the court, to make our case directly.
They're trying that in Minnesota. It's not working.
Yeah.
They're overrun by these government agents. So what are we going to do?
Masked agents.
Yeah, I think, and this is the other thing, just masked agents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am trying to inspire amongst New Yorkers a sense of faith and belief in what government can do. And it's very hard to do that when they look at masked agents and see them as another face of a similar government. Because then they ask themselves, am I supposed to trust or am I supposed to fear? And what we want is for New Yorkers to be able to look to government as a place to solve their problems, not as a place that creates their problems. And I think,
Mr. Mayor, if I could jump in, some of your
look, the problem is, though, ICE is not the one creating their problems. Your rhetoric is the one creating the problems. If you guys would stop radicalizing ICE, you didn't do this under Obama. Therefore, this is why people wasn't on ICE ass the way they are. This is all your rhetoric, but like I said, nobody wants to take accountability for it. You only want to turn up the temperature until somebody nice gets killed, and then when the Insurrection Act get invoked, you guys are gonna be kicking and screaming and crying about a dictator when you guys did everything to provoke this. I'm sorry, but when that happens, I don't want to hear no complaining. Honestly, I'm just gonna be a dickhead and just point out everything here. Remember when you guys were obstructing, following them around, breaking into vehicles and all that good stuff? Don't think that has anything to do with where you're at now. The actions of all of you.
have come under fire for past social media posts. This often happens.
Yo, and shout out Hobb. He said Nazis didn't wear masks. You're right, though. You're right, man. They was gangsters with it. They pulled up in your crib, kicked down your door, and said, "You speaking about our Hitler? All right, man. You gone. You're done. You're through. You will never be seen again. Actually, you in the camps with the Jews." Which is not a good thing, by the way. Probably shouldn't make a joke about that, but it is what it is. I'm shadow banned anyway. Who gives a damn?
The new administrations come in. Your new chief equity officer made several now deleted comments disparaging liberal white women. Your tenant advocate tweeted that home ownership was a weapon of white supremacy and called to elect more communists, among other posts. What message do you think this conveys to New Yorkers, and how would you push back on this?
So what I would say is that if you want to know my views or my opinions, you'll find them in my words as the mayor of New York City. And I'm someone who's looking to make this a city that every New Yorker can afford. That includes those who are tenants, those who are homeowners, those who aspire to be homeowners, because from this we find that stability. And I think, frankly, what New Yorkers are also looking for are the outcomes. And that's what I care about, the outcomes and the excellence we deliver. And so one example, the mayor's office to protect tenants, the executive director that we hired about 20 days ago. In those 20 days, we have taken on a landlord that had more violations than I could count. And we have secured $30 million in guaranteed repairs for thousands of those violations. And sometimes.
Okay, but do you take off the rent freeze? Because here's the problem. You can't bring up these landlord, and this is the part where they leave out. They put rent freezes on these landlords so they can't collect more money to actually fix up their property. Then they come around, hit them for violations that they can't fix because they're not allowed to charge more for their rent. And all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, well now what are you gonna do? Make them pay for these repairs that they can't afford because you froze their rent? Like, how does that work?
When a politician tells you this, it sounds intangible. It just sounds like stats and statistics that you'll never feel and know. We have someone in the audience, Josie, who was a tenant that I met on that first day I was the mayor. I went into her apartment. She showed me living conditions that no one should ever see in this city. And I could see and feel the rust falling off my hands. And I asked her, how long have you been living with this? And she pointed at her 20-something-year-old son and said, before he was born.
Wow.
And now that $30 million, that commitment, that's going to fix her apartment.
I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. In Brooklyn, New York, in the inner cities of New York, oh God, it gets bad. It gets bad. And I mean, bro, you're talking about somebody who came from the projects of New York. Well, really born in the projects of Nashville, Tennessee, then moved to the projects of New York, just to move to the hoods of Columbus, Ohio, which is actually better than the projects, surprisingly. But that's here nor there. But yeah, if you actually go inside these New York projects, rats, roaches, terrible smells, all that crazy stuff. Like, oh my God, it's bad. And the reason why I know this is because, well, God rest her soul, but my aunt used to live in a project before she died.
So many other tenants.
So trust me, I want things to get better for those people because, man, those guys in those projects, they don't get no type of maintenance and everything gets worse and they just got to live with it. As the pest gets worse, the water gets worse, everything is just goes down the shitter. It is what it is. But I mean, trust me, I do hope he actually finds a way to tackle it without destroying the housing market or the renting or renters. But all right, let's make our way back over to right-wing media with Jesse Waters. And then we're going to go ahead and react to this one interview here that I thought was pretty interesting.
Back, and he's bringing home the bacon. Davos rolled out the red carpet, but Trump's a realist and he can read a room.
It's great to be back in beautiful Davos, Switzerland, and to address so many respected business leaders, so many friends, few enemies.
A few enemies flew no kings flags over Switzerland. They forgot Europeans still have a king. The Europeans can be a little two-faced.
They loved me. They called me daddy, right? Last time. Very smart man said, he's our daddy. He's running it. I was like running it. I went from running it to being a terrible human being.
Daddy can be great until you misbehave. Then you need him to whip you into shape. Sometimes the Europeans think they can run things on their own. We don't know if that's nostalgia or delusion, but it's affecting our relationship.
Certain places in Europe are not even recognizable, frankly, anymore. They're not recognizable. And we can argue about it, but there's no argument. Friends come back from different places. I don't want to insult anybody and say I don't recognize it. And I love Europe, and I want to see Europe go good, but it's not heading in the right direction.
Europe used to be great, but they started too many wars they couldn't win. Opened their borders, stopped having babies, and went full-blown socialist because they knew we had their back.
I mean, man, I'm gonna be real with you. When it comes to the letting in a whole bunch of immigrants while not having babies, we're